Hey guys, welcome to my video on what I think happened to Jack Marston after the events of Red Dead Redemption 1. And this is just my opinion. If you don't agree with me, you can you can leave a comment down below saying why you disagree with me, what your opinion is, all that. But this is just my firm opinion of what happened to Jack. And most people say he became a freedom fighter in World War One, or became a moonshiner, became an outlaw. But this is just my firm opinion. I think Jack wouldn't necessarily be an outlaw, but I don't think he's gonna form his own gang and rob banks. But I do think he's gonna spend most of his life on the run. Okay, I mean, you gotta look at the facts here. He murdered a highly respected, retired government agent who, and I'm using air quotes here, who quote unquote took out the most dangerous gang in the country single-handedly. That's where the quotation marks come in. He took out one of the most dangerous gangs in the country, quote unquote, single-handedly. He's highly respected, probably has several trophies, several medals, everybody knows who he is. They're not just gonna, you know, let his death go to waste. They're not gonna put effort into that. They're gonna try and find out who murdered this important man, of course. This important, highly respected government agent who served his country well. And it wouldn't be that hard for them to figure out that Jack did it. Okay? I mean, first of all, Jack leaves 3 witnesses. On the way to killing Edgar Ross, he talks to a random Pinkerton in Blackwater. Then talks to his wife. Then talks to his brother. Okay? And I mean, Edgar Ross's brother was just down the road, down a little ways from where Edgar Ross was. And he was probably the first one to find the body. And you know, he's gonna go tell Ross's wife. And they're gonna go to the Pinkertons and describe what that man looks like. And they're gonna describe the same man, all 3 of them, Jack Marston. Okay? Not only that, but they're gonna look into Edgar Ross's files trying to see who he has made enemies out of, who would be a suspect. And Jack is John's son. He's obviously gonna look like John. So they're gonna say, hey, this guy you're describing sounds a lot like this John Marston who was shot by Edgar Ross 3 years ago. But coincidentally, he has a son who would be 19 years old at this time. And you gotta remember, they kidnapped Jack and Abigail once before. They got files on Jack and Abigail. They know who Jack is. They know his weight. Well, I don't know about his weight, but they know how tall he is and what he looks like. And how old he is, okay? Let me see here. I mean, now you could of course say that Jack could have killed all 3 witnesses. I mean, there's nothing stopping him from backtracking, killing Ross's brother, wife, and the Pinkerton in Blackwater. There's nothing stopping him, but I feel like that would just be even more of a reason why they would go after him. You know? Because again, they could just, even though they don't have any witnesses, they could still look into Ross's files and, like, put it this way. In the first scenario, where he doesn't kill the witnesses, he will be a prime suspect within a week. In the second scenario, he will be a suspect, just not a prime suspect, because they wouldn't have enough evidence. But still, you know, I think from that point forward, Jack would be kind of a nobody, a ghost, a vagabond, just kind of roaming around from town to town, maybe robbing small town shops, people, trying to get by, just keeping a low profile. You know, like I said, this is all just my opinion. You know, I know in GTA 5 there's a book called JM, like Red Dead by JM. So people think he became a writer. Even the wiki says he does. But you know, this is just my headcanon, my version. If you don't agree with it, just leave a comment below saying why. But you know, it's just my firm opinion. And thank you all for watching.